Got one now about buying now or later. I mean, I don't really want to. Going on to say, want to buy a house. I can't talk. I want to buy a house cash. Can I buy now or wait until next year? So can you? The answer is yes. Either way. Should you is another question, right? So it really depends on your goals, what you're trying to accomplish. This is probably the most common question I get as a real estate agent right now is, should I buy a property or should I wait for the downturn? Should I wait for more property to come on the market? And it's one of those questions that honestly, Josh and myself can't answer. It's, what's in your plan? What are you trying to accomplish? I think if you're, what my go-to answer for most people is that, if you're planning to be in that property for, say, the next 5+ years, it's a property that you like. In your case, it's going to be cash, so you're not going to have a monthly payment outside of property taxes and, insurance and maybe some HOA or whatever, depending on where you're buying it. I don't think you'll regret it. But if you're thinking of buying a property this year and you think that you're going to sell it in 2 years, make some money and buy it, unfortunately, we don't know what the market holds, right? I mean, I think Josh and I are both in lockstep here, thinking that the market's probably going to do a lot of what it did in 2020 in 2021. So you're going to see a market very similar. Most markets are going to appreciate. There's just so much demand. Interest rates are going to stay low. Inventory is low. And then you've got all of these people that are now basically working from home. They're in their property day in and day out. They want a property that they can move around. The people are starting to see all the problems in their houses. You've got people that are in small apartments now wanting bigger houses. I mean, there's so many factors that are playing into this thing. And in addition, you've got people that are, no longer have to maybe commute into LA. They can live in Phoenix or Nevada or wherever and still have their same job. So you've got all of these people that are going to continue to buy, in my opinion. So, I can't tell you whether to buy, but I can tell you personal experience is, fortunately I come to an office, but I have a wife and 3 kids in, a property and we're all in there. And the more you're in that property, the more you start to think, I need a bigger property. And, I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking that at this point. And as this continues to progress, I mean, unfortunately, COVID's not going to go away tomorrow, even though there's a vaccine. This is going to play out for probably the next 6 months. And so I think you're going to have a lot of people that are in a similar position to me looking for other opportunities. So I think the housing market's going to continue to follow suit.
And the big piece that comes to me is there's a question behind this question is, are you buying it for an investment or are you buying it to live in? If you're buying to live in and you're going to be there long term, I would buy sooner rather than later, because we think over the next several years, home prices are going to continue to go up at a moderate to high rate. So it's going to get more expensive. You cannot save money unless you're making a ton of money. You cannot save money quickly enough to add to the cash, because to cover the cash price of a home. If you're looking at a $300,000 home and right now you need $300,000, you're trying to get to that point. Well, next year it's going to be $315,000. The year after that it's $335,000. So it's just hard to do. Now, if it's an investment and you're saying, I want to buy it and flip it, I want to buy it and generate some rents on it, you can look at the timing issue a little more closely. At the end of the day, and I think you do also, Jeb, you feel rates are going to stay low. We have demographic tailwinds behind us. Most areas, home values are going to continue to be stable to increasing, and eventually we will have a downturn. Real estate is, in most markets, especially high-priced markets, cyclical. All cycles come to an end. But when you look at the economic factors and tailwinds we have, I don't think we're going to see that in the next 2 to 3 years.
Agreed.